Hey guys, how's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing great. Hope you've all had a great week. Probably be the weekend before you see this, but we're here on Simple Man's 357. I tore it down last night. I tried to video some of it, but it just didn't come out very well. So let's just hope this one does better. But I pulled it down, pulled the base gasket, and honestly, I could probably just do, what I call just a simple woods port. And this saw would run plenty good enough. It's got a nice flat squish band. I don't know if you can see in there, but it looks really, really good for a stock cylinder. There really wouldn't be a lot of port work to do to the thing, to be honest with you, which I've heard other guys say that, but once you drop the cylinder and get squished all in, there really ain't a whole lot to do with them. Just depends on what you want to do, I guess. But timing numbers just moved what little they would by pulling the base gasket on it. Let's see, we had 109, 125, I think, and around 69 or something on the intake when I checked it last night. But squish was 26 thou with just pulling the base gasket, but I'd kind of like to just throw a gasket back in on this. I have kind of had a problem with these, the way the channel is for the impulse of getting glue in them. It can be aggravating. It can be done with the glue without having a problem, but I've had a little bit of a problem on some saws with them doing that, and you'll think you have an air leak or something because of lean condition. I've got a brand new highway gasket laying here. We're going to put in this one, so what I'm going to do is we're going to machine about, I think I checked the thickness of that gasket and it's around 15 thou. It's going to compress a little thinner than that. The one I pulled off of it was compressed down to like 10, 12 thou. So what we're going to do is check this up in the lathe, and we're going to pull about, I don't know, 15 thou or so off, put the gasket on, check and see where squish is at, and then go from there with the port work. I'm not going to cut the band on this. So this saw ran damn good stock. It just, for what they are, it just kind of, I'd always heard it, but I mean, it ain't no 70cc saw or nothing, but for, what is it, 56, 57 cc's, it flat out gets with it and pulls some chain. Honestly, a muffler mod on one of these would probably just wake them up tremendously, because it is running that choked up EPA muffler. But I don't have a mandrel to fit this. I think it's like 47 millimeters. I really don't want to make one for it if I don't have to. The closest one I've got here is, it's a little over 44 millimeters. You can see it, there's some slop. So what we're going to do, and I've seen several of you guys doing this, so nobody could give me shit for it. I know I have multiple rolls of black tape. I have to pause the camera to find a roll. That's going to be embarrassing. But there's a roll head. What we are going to do, I'm trying to pair of scissors to cut this piece off that's no good. A razor blade or anything of the sort. We're going to wrap some black tape around this thing and see if we can make it a little bigger. And I'm sure, if I went in and cut some out of the band, got the compression up over 200 psi or so, it'd be noticeable. All the saws we've done it on here so far have been noticeable, but for what Simple Man will be doing with this saw, and I know how he likes them to run and what he's cutting, what we're going to do here will be just fine. We're going to dial squish in on it. There's one roll, two roll. That should have took it up about 2 millimeters or so. See where we're at. It's getting closer. I'm gonna say probably 4 rolls of that. I think what we're gonna do with it, it'll run just fine. I'm gonna put the timing numbers back kind of close to where they were at stock. I'm gonna go just a little bit hotter on them. There's 2 rolls. Just hope it fits good and snug now. That's 4 rolls around total. What about that? It feels good. There's no wobble. Good and snug. We get it in and dial indicated up in the lathe. It won't take but just a few minutes to pull the material off of the base of that. Honestly, it takes longer to set this stuff up than it does to cut the material off. But I'll pause you guys, and once I get everything set up, I may video taking a swap off, I may not, I don't know, but I'll bring you guys back when we got something else. There's what that looks like. Leaves pretty nice finish on it, to be honest with you. You could glue this right down and it'd be fine, but like I said, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to run a gasket on this one. Let me get this cinched down on here and I'll see if my squish is where I want it to be. I took about 15 thou off, which is about the thickness of that gasket, so we'll get it on there and see if we're in the ballpark of where we want to be. But this is kind of the first step, and you know, porting a power saw, getting that squish dialed in if you have the ability to do it. Right now we're looking at 19 thousandths squish. Quick look at things here. The polish on that exhaust, it turned out pretty dang nice, I'd have to say. Maybe if I can get the light right, we can see it. Got it nice and wide. It ain't took to the extreme or nothing. It's still safe. Roof squared off. Timing changed. I can never get the light on my uppers. There's always a damn shadow or something, or water spots from where they were washed. But lowers are cleaned up, which I think I showed the cylinder before. They are not opened up. They're just that nice from the factory. And we merely just cleaned up the band on this. It's that flat and pretty from the factory. Intake port, probably be hard to tell anything about it at all. Mainly just changed the timing, went in laid our texture. I always kind of break the edge going around, but the boot covers all of that anyway, so it really don't matter. I'd honestly just talked to Morgan on the phone, and he said not to do too much with the muffler, not spend a lot of time on it, because, which I knew it anyway, they're gonna build a pipe and put on it. Not an expansion chamber, but you know, a little stubby pipe. But this don't look half bad, and it's a good way without heating this up and bending it back and trying to get the... This thing has a baffle from here all the way to the front and a tube running back up, but what I done is I took my cutter and cut it open and took a piece of flat bar stock in there and shaped it, and we got a big free-flowing exhaust port. Some people probably ain't a fan of doing that, but like I said, he said not to spend a lot of time on it, that they were going to put a pipe on it. But hopefully the next thing you guys see is this thing up and running. And there goes the dude on the crotch rocket every evening, same time, about 140. I don't know if you heard him or not, but I'm sure you have them in your area too. But yeah, 20 years ago, if I was in a hot rod doing that, state police would have been all over me, but they know where to be seen now. sounding pretty daggone snappy. I think we'll get a bar and chain on it, and you know, it's not a fresh build. There's no need in doing a bunch of heat cycles. We're ready just to go set it in a piece of wood and see what it does. I have fired it up and ran it a few times here, and honestly ain't even touched the carburetor yet. So yeah, there's that, which I had it pretty dang fat before, but she's sounding pretty good. I'll bring you guys back then. Well guys, those of you that cut can tell how hard that wood is and how aggressive that chain is. It pulls like a freaking train. That's 24-inch brand new Husky X-Cut chain right out of the box. Never cut nothing. Super grabby chain, and it's got double drags on it, so yeah. What we'll do, I guess, is I'm thinking about spinning it around and taking a slab off of this other log back here. Bring you guys down a little lower. That saw gets with the program, guys. That piece of wood ain't no joke. It's hollow in the center, but she good and sound. You can probably see the grain of it. Ain't as hard as what we was cutting on the stand, but she gets with it. Well guys, I really like it. I love how it turned out. It's turning some serious RPM on the cut, and it's still pretty rich. Most of you guys that build can see that and hear it in the video. Runs damn good. I believe we made a vast improvement on how it pulls. It ran good stock, but it didn't pull like that. Yeah, I think he'll love it. Like I said earlier, they're going to put a pipe on it. Just one of those, kind of like the ones old Ben Hall makes, I think. Just a custom built stainless steel pipe for it. Probably wake it on up even more. But anyway, I'll try to put you guys a video together. As always, thank you guys for watching. I hope it didn't piss anyone off with any comments in this, but I just kind of get aggravated with the way some people teach others to build. It's just backwards and wrong. Final numbers were a little different than I give out in it. Whatever, it is what it is. 104, 124, 78, and 20,000 squish. Done machine work. It's running a base gasket. You can see she's a good strong running saw, and that thing's just 56.5, 57 cc's. She's pulling like a 70 plus cc saw, so take that for what it's worth. But thank you guys for watching. Y'all have a great weekend.